Hello and welcome, everyone. You are now watching My Best Friends Weebing, brought to you by Geeks Unlimited. Oh man, I gotta fix my. All right, so as you can see under my name, it says new PC. Who this? So I had to get me a new laptop, which it's not the best laptop, which I've come to find out because it doesn't do the things that I bought it for, which it said it would, but it doesn't. But I got the other one working. So looking at myself. Reversed is just throwing me completely off right now. So I do apologize. I distracted myself with myself. So I apologize. But you're welcome for my quirkiness. And here we are with My Best Friends Weebing. And we can't have My Best Friends Weebing without, of course, one of my best friends, Steven.
What's up, everybody? Good evening.
Yes, it is a good evening, except for the computer not doing what it's supposed to, which he's
No.
already grumbled at me about. I told him, half of it is the stuff that work gave me to do work on, and the other half is the laptop itself. I told him the hub that I had, and it was just this guttural roar of disapproval. And
so, to expound on that, I used to work for our local government, and I was working for our local government when the pandemic hit. So there was a period there where I was working like 10 to 12 hours days, 6 or 7 days a week, and we were rolling out laptops to as many people as possible and getting docking stations to as many people as possible. And then you told me that you have the same freaking laptop brand and the same darned docking station brand. And I just like had this rush of flashbacks. So that's why I might have howled. The noise might have been, I don't know.
That was not a howl. That was a guttural roar, groan of disapproval, and it just wasn't good for you.
It's the noise Master Chief makes to himself whenever he finds himself on another Halo ring. Like,
right?
Ah!
Another one. How many of these did the Forerunners make? Wow. Hello, Kale Silver. And sir, there's none of that. Salutations, but we don't have any of what you asked for. Stop it. None of that. None of that. He's like, where is it illicit and illegal substances?
I saw Drugas. I don't know what that is, but I'd assumed
he's trying to say a word that doesn't get him in trouble.
Oh.
So see,
it's Colorado.
This is true. We do have the psilocybin and the THC, so
I just haven't started yet. I'm ready to. Right. So I have a quick question. I was listening to the opening, and I've noticed it before. The clip of the woman going "Ada Ada." Which character is that?
It's a random one.
It's a random one?
It is because, we're not yet rolling in the doughs. I can't pay for stuff when I make things. I make the video. I go find the freest things I can find.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I saw that. I'm like, let me see if there's any anime sound effects. And I was like, oh, hey, there's a whole bunch. Let's go.
I bet we could get Shannon to do a pretty good Ada Ada for us.
Ooh, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that.
What are we talking about tonight, Reggie?
We're talking about power creep in anime and manga because it's something I've always wanted to touch on because it's something that it needs to be talked about because there are some times that it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Only one. There's two anime sound effects in the intro. One is hey, no, ready, set, and the other one is Ada Ada because you got to have Ada Ada.
We can't have a degenerate podcast without some Ada Ada.
Exactly. Like, how are we going to have that? But also as to how we are feeling, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Hold up, wait. Okay, yeah, it stopped raining. And I'm sure the snow is about to happen, but it's Colorado. It might decide to turn back to 60 degrees. I don't know.
It's going to be 70 on Wednesday. We might have a foot of snow overnight, and then it'll be 70 on Wednesday. So,
I love my state. I hate my state.
Springtime in the Rockies.
Right? Is that the woman or a dog?
That's the dog.
Okay, all I see is a black line. I'm like, is she in leggings? Is it the dog?
No, that's Irsa dog.
It's little tank dog. Well, little tank. It's
tank
big,
dog.
It's big tank dog. I have little tank dogs. Little tank dogs are here. You have big tank dog.
I have tank dog and I have cruise missile dog.
Yes, you do. And apparently it is raining out east. Like
that doesn't shock me. No, like
plains,
Falcon, Black Forest, Ellicott area. No, they're probably getting hammered by that.
They
rain
are
right now.
It's in the valley. I'm okay with sometimes when the weather misses us, and I feel bad for my friends because I have a couple that live out east and they just get hammered.
Yeah,
but life on the plains. We got mountains to block our shit here. They don't have that feature.
Well, this came from the south.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was down in Pueblo today, so like it started raining in Pueblo. I was like, I have to go. I have to get back up north. I don't know what's going to happen with this.
Nice. It was sunny and 65 yesterday.
I need 65 degrees so I can do some
yard work.
No. So I use a rattle can primer for my miniatures and like my terrain and stuff. Cold. So it's too cold and it's too moist.
Yeah, this is
the technical term is humidity, but it's moist out.
The air is moist. That's how we got to say the air is moist. Yes, tonight we are talking about power creep. Oh wow. Yeah, she hates the snow out east. She hates it. She loves her house, hates the snow.
Yeah.
When she has to drive through it.
So, power creep. Where do you want to start the discussion on power creep?
First, we got to talk about what power creep is. So, for those that don't know what power creep is, it's that inevitable thing that happens in every single shonen anime. I'm the main hero. I'm the first villain. We fight. Is he strong enough? Is he not? Oh, no, I'm not strong enough. I got to power up. Cool, I've powered up. We fight again. Oh no, it's a draw. Now we both power up. It's an even bigger fight and more fights. And basically, the hero has to increase at a rate exponential to everyone he's fighting. And at some point, things get out of hand sometimes. And sometimes the power creep is too strong. Sometimes the power creep isn't enough. Sometimes the power creep isn't real. But for the most part, the power creep is OP, and yeah, it's ridiculous. Cause man, and so or you can just do it the right way, which is the funny way, which is there is no power creep. He's OP. He just holds back.
My mic was muted for that, right?
It was.
Okay, good.
I was looking at I see him talking, but I don't see the mute button, but you muted it on the mic itself.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the power creep and where it came from and where do you think it's going?
My thoughts on power creep. There's not a lot of shows that it like has actively bothered me. There's been Dragon Ball Z certainly has its issues. Sometimes it's done well, usually not. I think that the bigger problem with Dragon Ball Z is that Toriyama is just too afraid to write Goku out of the story.
Yeah, well, he wasn't at one point, and then they made him not. Though.
Yeah, they make him keep bringing Goku back, but I think that part of the reason why Superhero was as good as it was because Goku and Vegeta were hardly in it at all.
It was great. I was like, oh, sweet. And I watched it. I was like, oh my God, they're not in the movie. This is great.
And we got to see, some new new tricks from several characters. We got to see some more growth from several characters. And it's always nice to see anybody aside from Goku surpassing their limits.
Right?
Because usually it's just Goku is in the lead and then everybody else is trying to catch up with him. And instead we got a movie where Vegeta beats Goku.
Right.
Spoilers. Like,
I mean, it's a bit late.
they're not in it, and it's mostly a bit. It's fine.
It's fine.
And we get to see a whole new side of Gohan and Piccolo, and we haven't gotten a solid Gohan and Piccolo arc since Namek. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other anime that I've watched that's known for power creep, and like Bleach is there, but like at the same time, whenever there was power creep in Bleach, it was usually Ichigo just learning an entirely new set of abilities. Like the power creep for Ichigo was that he kept learning new things. Like he moved beyond being a Shinigami into these other roles, and then he'd become completely OP in that role as well, and then he'd combine powers and be super OP. I have a lot of problems with Bleach. The power creep actually isn't one of them.
Okay.
Naruto, I felt like the power was handled pretty well.
And yeah,
see, I didn't finish Naruto. So for everything that I've read up through whatever Ninja War I was reading through, the power creep was never the issue for me with Naruto. My issue with Naruto was characters that weren't changing. They weren't growing at all. Yeah.
The war arc, it got, because it's not spoilers forever. It might be spoilers for you. It's not a really big spoiler. But
I don't see myself going back and watching Naruto.
Basically, Madara really resurrects himself. He's not doing the resurrection you saw him do earlier on everyone else.
No, he actually comes back.
Yeah,
I think I read through that part.
Okay.
I think.
So that's when the power creep showed up in Naruto. It's like, Madara's here, and he just went, cool, Genjutsu from the moon.
Yeah, didn't he just style on an entire army of ninjas or something?
Yes, he did by himself.
I don't know. Can you think is there an anime that stands out in your mind as having just awful power creep?
Let's see. Actually, a lot of the mediocre isekais. Because there are some.
That's fair.
There are some where you're like, all right, cool, you're a new character. You got to lose power. Why are you killing everything so quickly? Dungeons that only I can enter.
Yeah, the main character of what's her name? Little blonde sociopath in the World War II.
Tanya the Evil.
Tanya the Evil. She just started off OP.
That was the whole point of that one. God said, hey, you don't believe in me, but guess what? I'm going to give you this awesome power. But you
have to invoke my name.
Yeah, you got to fight my name to use it. So, die in poverty, pray to me.
She was stupidly overpowered, but that's you're right. It's just part of the story and part of this back and forth that she has with this character that claims to be God. So, I mean, the isekais, Kirito's ridiculous. Kirito's power creep was stupid.
It was dumb. Hey, look, I can dual wield. Literally from that moment on, he was done.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah, he got that stupid black jacket, and then he could dual wield, and then he got his dragon poop sword, and then anything beyond the first half of season 1, Kirito's just way too strong.
Bruh, he sat there and let them wail on him, and all you saw was his hit points.
Yeah, his passive health regeneration was. If your passive health regeneration is that good, then what's the
point?
Where's the struggle? It's something that what it reminds me of?
What's that?
The struggle of writing Superman stories.
Yes.
I'm
sorry, go ahead. Yes.
When your main character is so insanely powerful, that he is easily confused for a god, sometimes treated as a god. Thank you, New 52. I hated how New 52 ended. The struggle becomes not writing this really cool, awesome character. You really have to have a talented enough writer who makes the confrontations and the story dilemmas about something that can't be resolved with just sheer power. And when you're writing a shonen isekai, how do you do that?
Right. Actually, the best example for Superman for that is Superman Across America.
I don't
Literally,
know that one.
he walked across America. That was his whole thing. He walked across America, and like one of the biggest things that came of it was this little kid that was his mom and him and his mom were being abused,
Mm-hmm.
and Superman just happened to be walking within earshot, and the kid was like, "Superman, if you can hear me, I know you're walking and you're busy. My mom and I need you." And he literally just walked. He doesn't fly. He walks up to the house, knocks on the door, grabs the dad, and flies him in the air. He's like, "Look, your kid told me what you've been up to. Don't make me come back." And that was it. And that was it.
Just giving him a smidge of Frank Castle energy.
Yes, they do it every now and again. When it's like the complete and super utterly helpless, that's when Superman pulls a little Bruce out of him. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, is this what we're playing? Is this the game we're gonna play? Okay, let me play this game too." Yeah, yeah. What are you gonna do? Actually, apparently the new Superman TV show, he does the same thing. I like saw a clip when I was doom scrolling the other day.
Is
And
that part of the Arrowverse
I
stuff?
don't know.
I've totally lost track at this point.
I don't know what verse it's in. If anyone watching, I'm sure Mayhem's gonna know because that's his
Mhm.
jam. And I don't know if it's an Arrowverse or not, because I think Arrowverse is ending because all the DC stuff from here on out after Flash is all going to be in sync and in line, and the same characters are going to be portrayed by everyone across all media.
I've been so sour about how they've handled the DC extended universe ever since Suicide Squad.
The first one or
The
the
first
second?
one, the first one. I like the second one. I
Okay.
like the second one for what it was. James Gunn can just,
He's
let
he's he's
let
he's
James Gunn make your superhero movies.
I'm okay with that fact.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it was fun, and that's a major part that I think DC was missing up until that point, because Batman versus Superman was just so
I
so
only know
bad.
that one from clips and memes.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Wow,
I
well, you made the right choice. There's a good movie in there somewhere, but the editing is what really kills it. Like, I can look past a lot of the problems with it. I honestly like Batfleck. And I think that Henry Cavill can do a very good Superman, but I think he's suffered from bad writers and bad directors. And we're just never going to get to see Henry Cavill being the Superman that he could have been.
right?
Yeah.
Or the Witcher that he deserved to be.
Or the Witcher that he deserved to be. I'm looking forward to Henry Cavill in a 40K story. I'm not really into 40K, but
But you want to see Henry Cavill.
I will absolutely watch it for Henry Cavill, because I love nothing more than watching interviews with him where he starts geeking out about his hobbies. I'm like, I could hang out with that guy.
Right? Right?
Like, easily. Like, I could call him up and be like, hey, come over, let's paint some miniatures, and that's it.
I need to get better at that. I do. But now that we sidetracked ourselves, back to power creep.
No, that was on target. That is.
Sorry, we went from one version of Superman to another to not Superman.
Superman is a perfect example of power creep.
Yes, he is. He is, because once again, like you said, it's just, how do you write for someone who can literally punch their way out of everything?
Yeah, and that's why I think some of the best shonen that had power creep ended before power creep became an issue. Like Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho
That's
handled it very
perfect.
well. Yeah.
That is perfect right there. And like, hey, look, you can get better what you're doing. Like he sat there with Spirit Gun for like the entirety of the first arc and the second arc, and only throughout the last part of the second arc, they're like, hey, by the way, why don't you use all your fingers? What?
Spirit shotgun. Pow.
Exactly. It's like, I can do that. Well, can you do that? And he had to
Yeah.
go and teach him that.
It handled it well because it wasn't just what was his name? Yusuke?
Yusuke,
Yusuke.
Urameshi.
Yeah, Urameshi. He had to learn how to use his spirit gun in different ways. He utilized it in different ways. And it wasn't until they really ran out of ideas for how to do the spirit gun that they upgraded the spirit gun. Meanwhile, in Dragon Ball, Goku has mostly had the same Kamehameha the entire damn time. Occasionally we get a little bit of a different Kamehameha, like the instant transmission Kamehameha and Gohan's one-handed Kamehameha, but that's about it. And mostly it's just Goku getting stronger or getting new hair.
This is true. And I haven't watched JoJo.
I haven't watched JoJo either. We have an anime podcast where neither
we
of us have watched JoJo.
Is that good or bad for?
I don't know. I mean, we can't take part in the memes. I have watched some JoJo. I was watching some of the first season. It's fine. Apparently, I should just skip the first season to get to the good stuff.
I started the first season and I was like, what the hell am I watching? This isn't anything like the memes I've seen.
It's mostly it's Dio being an asshole is what the first season is. And as far as I can tell, that's just a trend that continues throughout the show. We aren't fabulous. I'm extra fabulous. You don't know me.
Person on the internet, he is super fabulous. Fabulous. Now with an S with an SH. Fabulous.
Fabulous. I could be fabulous.
But it's just that was probably one of the best implementations of it. But yeah, just Yu Hakusho. Like, I'm learning as I go. I'm not strong. I have to get better at what I do. Let me do it gradually. And he doesn't leave his friends behind.
Yeah, no, never. And
that's one of the biggest ones with me with power creep. I'm going to get stronger and leave you guys down there to struggle. Good luck.
Yeah. Everyone was always pretty close to Yusuke. It never felt like, they all got their time to shine.
Right.
They all took out villains. It wasn't like, he had to show up all the damn time and save them. Like Bleach is a good example of Ichigo kind of stealing everybody's thunder most arcs.
Yeah. That's exactly how that goes. And let's see what else. And what else I got down there? Yes. And let's talk about the complete and utter annulment of power creep, which is One Punch Man.
Yay! I love talking about One Punch Man because I feel like most of the content I see about One Punch Man is from people who don't get One Punch Man. Maybe that's just due to like my kids' viewing habits. Caden loves One Punch Man, but he watches tons of videos about like, oh, how strong is Saitama really? And could Saitama fight this person? Could Saitama fight this person? And what if Saitama and Superman fought? And like, all of those creators, if you're one of those people who's theory crafting about how strong Saitama is, you missed the point.
You have the whole point.
He is as strong as he needs to be.
Right.
Same as Superman. It's just Saitama is it's comedy. He can beat anybody with a single punch. Maybe
if he so chooses to.
Maybe a series of serious punches if it's incredibly serious. But you can't look at One Punch Man with any degree of seriousness. If you do, you are missing the point
of the whole thing.
All of it.
Abyss, yo, this is why I like you.
Oh, Mob Psycho. I keep hearing good things about Mob Psycho. I know you're a fan. I
Yes.
have yet to watch it. I
It
understand
is
season
good.
3 kind of capped things off really, really well
Yes.
without being super showy.
God, yes.
Like it's the
Because
least action-packed season, and it's just like it cleans up
it,
the story.
it made it make sense.
Nice. Yeah,
It's like
I'll watch it.
it's worth it. It is worth it. Because there are times where he is OP, but it's not through any fault of his own. I want to say
hmm
things things happen. His emotions get out of control, and that's when he gets OP.
Well, isn't the main thing about not One Punch Man, Mob Psycho, not that like he's like the most powerful psychic or something, but that's not his goal. His goal is
Right.
to like make friends, and
Yes.
that is how you write an overpowered character. You might make them overpowered, but you have to give them something real to struggle with so that the audience can identify with them.
Exactly.
That's why Spider-Man is so
Oh
fantastic,
my god.
because we all have been through at least a couple of moments where we've got that Parker luck.
Right? Right? Huh, if it can go wrong, and there it goes. All right, cool. Let me go fix it.
Yeah, that's why Spider-Man's relatable. He's got these really cool superpowers. He's quick-witted, he's smart. He occasionally
Dear
has
God, he has
a really attractive partner, but my God, everything in his life still goes wrong, and that's identifiable.
right? And that's
Goku's not identifiable.
and
Krillin's identifiable.
that's what
Yamcha's identifiable. We all dunk on Yamcha, but let's be real. We're all Yamcha.
we are. Hey, we're gonna go fight. Oh yeah. Why does it hurt? Yes, we are all Yamcha.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I love the original series so much, is because there's not such a large spread between power levels. You've got things much closer, characters are much more relevant, and they can play a part in the story. I still contend that Yamcha versus Tien Shinhan at the World Tournament is one of the best fights in the entire series. It's just so well choreographed, and you see a lot of growth in both characters during the course of the fight. So,
And that's how power creep is supposed to work.
yeah.
It's like, hey, we're just gonna take this on. It's like and go up, and then you have Goku. Hey, this is where Goku's gone. Where'd Goku go? Never mind.
Goku's way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yamcha is an all-star baseball player. I guess I can't completely identify with Yamcha, but for what Dragon Ball focuses on, I can identify with Yamcha. Looking
Yes.
around and being like, is everybody better than me?
What is this really? I thought I was like the stuff. What is this and what is happening now?
Yeah. So you have to have a flawed character, if regardless of how strong they are. Otherwise, you have a power creep problem. And that's why Dragon Ball has a power creep problem, because Goku doesn't really have flaws that you can identify with, short of being like, I don't know,
Say it.
a
Say it.
bad father.
There it is. There it is. Okay,
But
we all
even then, I identify with Piccolo more on that fatherhood front, because he's struggling. He's a grouch, but he's trying.
right? And he likes cats.
Does he like cats? I don't.
He likes
Oh,
cats.
that's right. Weren't they
Yeah.
getting him like keychains or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Uh-oh.
Goku's not a bad father. He's not great.
He's not even good. He was dead for most of both of his children's lives.
He came back. He got better.
Yes, he came back, but you can't. Well, one time it was his own fault. I'm sorry, Cell is 100% Goku's fault. I don't care what nobody says. Goku could have destroyed him, been done with it, but no. My kid
Yeah,
needs
and
to fight him at full health.
he totally threw Gohan to the wolves on the Cell fight. Like that's a pretty good example of Goku being a shitty father. Like he has no idea what's going on in Gohan's head. And
God,
that's after spending a year with him in the hyperbolic time chamber. That's after that. He had a year alone with his son to get to know him, and he didn't.
all he wants to do is train and fight to get stronger.
Yeah, so no, I'm still going to stand by Goku being a bad father. I think he's probably better to Goten, but again, not around.
Not really. But like Team 4-Star said it best. He's like, why do you think he went in there? He wanted to spend time with you. And he's like, oh, is that why? He's like, are you dumb?
Oh, probably could have gotten. I could argue with you, but not using text chat.
Understandable.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. What are some other good examples? What are some other good examples? I mean, like Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's more of a card game problem.
Yeah, that's luck of the draw and heart of the cards.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of sidesteps power creep.
Yeah,
the card game has a power creep problem. I guess the anime doesn't really, because he just draws what he needs to.
Right, and that's not really a power creep.
No, that's just good deck building.
Yeah, that's just deck building.
That's good
which
deck
I'm getting
building.
better at.
I have a hot take for later.
Yeah, jot that down. Put a pin in that.
I'll try and remember. Remind me it was about deck building in TCGs.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch Beyblade.
I didn't watch Beyblade either.
I played it with the kids of the people that I knew that had it, and I was like, all right, cool, yay. I'm like, I just had tops and I'd spin the top and throw it in there, or I played marbles and I get it, the upscaling of it.
I had oh god, I'm gonna date myself with this. I had a Beyblade before it was a show.
Nice.
It was just a toy.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. My top is harder than yours, and that's okay. Let's see who else did some good power creep. Let me pull up the list. Referring to the list, bring up
power creep list.
No, just an anime list to see how power creep was done in it. All right, let's see here. Those are all the ones I just put on there. Who else did it well?
All the major ones are there.
Oh, the major ones are always OP. It's always I'm super strong and go.
Gundam.
Ooh.
For continuously introducing more and more powerful robots through the course of the series. It's not a problem with the original series.
No.
For sure. Everybody got one upgrade in Wing.
Yep.
We're a couple episodes into the second half of season 1 for Mercury, and hasn't been an issue. She's still using Aerial Gundam.
Right. And Iron-Blooded Orphan, same thing. He just got to sink in better with Barbados, which is what made him better. But also, spoiler alert, that's what's going to kill him sooner, is sinking with the robot.
So, yeah, I don't see it for any of the Gundam stuff I've watched. Mind you, that's 3 series. Fairy Tail.
It's even-ish because everyone's on the same playing field. It's just how they use their magic until, the end dragon thing, death thing. I forget its name.
Oh, before the time skip?
Yeah, before the time skip.
Yeah, but that wasn't, they still weren't overpowered. I don't.
Man.
I guess Ezra, she was always kind of OP.
She can be OP if 1, her summons listen to her, and 2, she has the right keys. If her summons listen to her, yes, she can be OP.
You're thinking of Lucy.
Oh, Lucy, you're right.
As
Ezra,
Ezra has the costume changes.
yes, Ezra. No, yeah, she is OP. Yeah,
Is it Ezra?
yeah.
No, it's Erza.
Erza, there we go. Erza, yeah, she can be OP. This is true. There's Mob. Ooh, Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you haven't seen Chainsaw Man yet, have
I've
you?
watched Chainsaw Man, but
Okay.
I haven't read it. I've only watched the anime and what's out of the anime. I didn't feel like there was any power creep in that.
No, it was just fight until you can't fight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Get blood and you keep going.
Now, one of the older ones, I talked about this on one of our earlier episodes. History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. That definitely had
Yes,
some power creep.
it
That
did.
definitely had some power creep. But I always felt like it was softened by the fact that the masters were still that much further away from him. It was
Right.
like, he went from a power level of 1 to a power level of 100 to a power level of 1,000 to a power level of 1,000,000, and the masters are still at like 1,000,000,000. And what's the difference between 1,000,000,000 and 1,000,000?
A
About
lot.
1,000,000,000.
Right. Right.
So he came such a long way, and there was so much power creep within what Kenichi was dealing with, but it was still just so minuscule compared to what the masters dealt with. And I feel like having that like ceiling there, always that much higher above him, did something to kind of stymie the power creep, because it was always obvious that he was always on the back foot. Like everybody that he fought in that series was stronger than him.
This is true. And then to answer Kaio's question about Fairy Tale, I think this is up to
Or after
see. I
the
haven't watched
Dark
after the first
Tournament is Dark Tournament is where I stopped reading. So I don't know about after, but up to, I don't recall there being issues. The magic system was fairly thoughtful. Everybody had some clear weaknesses. Every once in a while, they'd get a new ability, like Erza would get a new costume, and Lucy would get a new key. Or, God, did Natsu even change at all? like,
No, he's
like
just
there
more
were other dragons, but like I don't remember Natsu having power creep. I don't remember Gray having power creep.
no.
Windy, none of them. Like I don't remember power creep being an issue in Fairy Tale, at least not through what I read of it, which was up to that tournament where Lucy was gonna get kidnapped. What's
Yeah, so I
another?
watched up until they brought the dragons back.
Oh, here's a good one on their list. I see a good one. Gurren Lagann. The power creep in Gurren Lagann is ridiculous, but it's like hilariously ridiculous because every time you're like, oh, they couldn't possibly go bigger, they go bigger. But like again, within the realm of Gurren Lagann, and it's what, 27, 28 episodes, it's fine. It makes sense within
What they're doing,
what they're
and
doing.
until and actually it suffers the same issue that Darling in the Franxx did. It's like, yeah, look, we're on the Earth and we're doing things. Space.
Still haven't watched Darling in the Franxx.
It's
You've
good.
made the face that people make when I talk about Darling in the Franxx, because everyone's like, it's good. And then they're remembering something. I remember something happens in that show that upset everybody.
It's what I
I have
said.
no idea what it is.
All you need to know is they go to space and it gets dumb. Like we were so invested, like, oh my god, look what's going on the planet and the robots and the kids and the fighting. And why the are we in space? And then the things that happen in space.
Oh, here's a good one. Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Gurren Lagann is the anti-Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
One of them is trying to be as depressing as possible. The other one is like, you can get through anything. Right? Believe in yourself because I believe in you.
Ooh, I don't know if you watched this one, but like Horus Recoil.
No, don't know that one.
It's good. It's basically What if Girl Scouts were actually assassins and kept everything in check?
Okay.
It's really good. Really good.
Is
And
that
there's
the
just,
one with all the cute girls with guns?
yes,
Okay.
it's like a Cuban Made War, but they're not fighting each other. They're all a part of the same organization doing that to
Have
terrorists.
you watched Akiba Made War now?
Not once
Did you?
high. If they give me an app I can put on my PlayStation, I will gladly do it. But I have to do it from either the app on my phone or from the website.
It's on Xbox.
Okay, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
have to put it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
Actually, I can do that now. Now that she's got a laptop that games,
Mhm.
she literally plays Minecraft and everything from there. I might actually be able to get back on the Xbox again.
Yeah, their app isn't like the GUI isn't as good as Crunchyroll's, but their actual streaming is way better. Like I never see a loss of quality or buffering on High Dive. It always just plays fine, and Crunchyroll does not provide that to me.
No, there are times where Crunchy doesn't even load. It's like, hey, here's your things that you want to watch.
Mhm.
Play it. Something went wrong.
Yeah, I have to restart my entire Xbox like weekly just to watch a new episode of Witch from Mercury.
Sometimes, yeah, I would have to do that with the PS5 as well. I'm
Mm,
like, oh, let me watch it. No, Crunchyroll says no.
yeah. And it's
Thanks.
not strictly like an Xbox app issue because I have problems on my computer as well.
Hmm. Okay. Well, see, I've never had to use it anywhere else. Huh.
Yeah,
See here.
Akiba Mage War. Mage War? Made War.
Made War. Yes.
So yeah, Avatar, The Last Airbender. How do you feel about power creep in that with Aang and Korra and the Avatar state?
It's actually that one is exactly where it needed to be because the Avatar state was just that emergency go to. Except for the final episode where he learned to use it properly. It
Yeah,
was like,
he finally controlled it and it made sense instead of it just being a burst of don't let Aang die.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and in Korra, it played kind of a more interesting role. Korra definitely had some power creep issues with her villains. Like
Yes.
every villain was
The
somehow
stronger.
just ridiculous.
I'm sorry, the
Um,
last one, I'm like, bro, you're controlling half the spirit world and have the giant evil spirit of evil.
yeah, and
What?
I'm a Korra apologist. Like I'll defend Korra. I think that it's not near as bad as the haters make it out to be. It's not as good as the gang, but no, it's fine for what it is. She had her own interesting journey, and I like the characters in it. It's not
There
as
you go.
memorable. It's not as good, but it's good.
It was good. We enjoyed it. See, we did it the right way. We just binged all of it in a row. Just
Hmm.
just started at episode season one and went all the way through and watched it all.
So I think the important thing about power creep and the best way to avoid power creep is to have clearly written rules of those powers. The issue with Dragon Ball and the Kirito show is it's not clear. There's no clear limitation on what they can do.
Right.
They can just do whatever they need to on the fly, whereas with other shows, I see some good examples on here. Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist, Ippo, Death Note. That's actually an interesting one. That's an interesting one to bring up. All of those have clearly defined rules. Ippo taking place within the real world, so he's bound by the limits of the human body,
Right.
and he has injuries that opponents abuse. Full Metal Alchemist did a great job with it with their whole equivalent exchange
English
law.
is hard sometimes.
um,
And how do you
yeah,
feel about
it's
Inuyasha's power creep?
never a fan of Inuyasha. Couldn't tell you. I've tried watching Inuyasha. I cannot get into it. I'm sorry. I like Rumiko. I love Urusei Yatsura. Ranma. Ranma doesn't have any real power creep either.
No, it's just martial artists doing martial arts things.
Yeah,
And
and
of
most
course,
of the time he's also fighting on the back foot. Like
right,
Rodman never starts a fight from a winning position.
God no.
No, he's constantly in recovery mode. Oh,
Exactly. And of course, this man here, I'll say Iron Man in the MCU and his fans. What, sir? Are you watching the same show that we're broadcasting? Because
I don't.
what power creep is there in Iron Man in the MCU? He's smart and builds better.
Yeah, and again, Tony Stark's big issue was his own personality. Like
Yeah.
that was the deeply flawed individual made that character interesting. Could he build anything? Tony Stark built this in a cave. Um, yeah, he could, but that was really all he had was his intelligence and his ability to create, because the rest of Tony Stark is a hot freaking mess.
Well, that's why he's a bad futurist. He tries to be a futurist, but he gets in his own
That
way.
was the entire point of Iron Man 3.
Yup.
like go watch Iron Man 3. If you don't like Tony Stark, watch Iron Man 3. That's the point of the movie. God, I'm not seeing many other. Oh, Kenshin didn't really have power creep issues, at least not through what I watched.
I didn't watch it enough to have a
Eggplant
opinion.
parm, thank you, love.
Ooh, fancy. Oh, since how you talking about good food, but let me tell you about the good food we had. We had Broughton beer cheese.
I miss your cooking. I miss you living here. I miss
Along
it.
with red cabbage and couscous.
It would kill me now. It would kill me now.
It'll kill you.
No, I had like a slice of pizza on Saturday, and the next day I was like, oh, why do I feel like crap? Iron Man 3, ugh. Yet another person who didn't understand and appreciate Iron Man 3. Y'all missed the point.
They did. It's okay. We still love them, even though they missed the point.
That's Kyo. I'm just picking on you, Kyo.
Right.
I wonder if it's just something that Dragon Ball started, because thinking about it more, like this is an issue through other forms of media. Like look at JRPGs. JRPGs have ridiculous power creep.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're super anime, but they have that power creep.
They do, because it's like you go from being regular kids that get magic to beings that will destroy the planet to save the planet.
Yeah.
What? I don't want this power. Why am I responsible for this? Don't give it to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. Kirito is a good example of terrible power creep. Dragon Ball definitely has awful power creep, and we all just love it in spite of that.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm not following Boruto. I'm not following Black Clover. I know you watch Black Clover. I feel like Demon Slayer has clear enough rules as well, but I've also only watched up through Mugen Train. But the explanation of like the breathing and everything and their techniques, it never feels power creepy.
Right.
And like Kenichi.
Oh, Kenichi.
Well, like Kenichi, there's always those other characters who are just so far beyond him.
Right.
That I don't feel like he's outpacing anyone. In fact, he's usually getting saved by somebody bigger and stronger than him.
Yeah,
his struggle is keeping his sister safe while still trying to, right wrongs and protect people from demons. But he needs a lot of help doing that. And, even though he's got his two best buds, all three of them are regularly getting rescued by someone else.
Also, that was Mayhem talking about Iron Man, not
Kyle. That was Mayhem talking about Iron Man. All right. I forgive you, Kyo.
Oh, he says there's one or two things in Demon Slayer, but they're both spoilers.
Yeah, don't spoil it. I'll get back to it.
We'll get there.
Gosh.
Oh, I don't think you watched this one, but Standing on a Million Lives.
No idea what that is.
It's an isekai that's not. So basically, there's the regular world that they live in, just like our world,
Mm-hmm.
and you get drafted into the isekai.
Hmm.
And so the first person didn't really have a choice. He got sucked in there and that was his thing. And he's like, all right, cool. Once you get to a certain level, you can start adding to the party. Cool. Add somebody else to your party. And he doesn't really get to choose. He says, cool, add this person to your party. And it's, of course, the awkward situation of we don't get along. We don't talk. Why would you put me in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
And the bad part is if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh, I do have another example of power creep that I'm not liking.
Uh-oh.
I've gone back and started rewatching Should You Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Um, and I was fine with it until he got the Argonaut ability, and the Argonaut ability is so damned busted. I hate it. I hate the Argonaut ability. That's the one that like gives him a free crit whenever things are looking terrible. Like his hand starts glowing, and like
Oh,
his
the
fire
one from
blast
his
will just
dad.
like blow off half of a boss that other like level 6s and level 7s are struggling with,
Yeah.
and he's level 2.
Well,
Argonaut is busted.
you got to think about
It's
who his
jank.
parent is, or who they're alleging his parent is in the series.
Okay, so there's been hints of that. I have suspicions. Don't say more about it.
But that's why Argonaut is busted, because his parent was like, I don't think I like what's happening with my kid. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little
Well,
bit of this.
there's been some hints there about it, but I still don't like it. I don't like that when things are down, he gets an ability that keeps him from losing. It's kind of garbage.
It
I'm
is.
not going to stop watching the show because I still
But
mostly enjoy it. I think that
the plot armor is real, sir. The
the
plot
plot
armor.
armor is real, but I also appreciate how non-heroic he is. He's a little.
He's a
I just
regular
want to. I
person.
want to pat him on the head most of the time and be like, "Go do your best, buddy."
I mean, it's he's a regular person that was like, here, go do this. And he's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll go do that. And he's like, why is it so hard? And they're like, yeah, about that.
he has a panic button. It sounds like and it's something he doesn't even have control of. It's just like, oh, things are going bad, and then his hand starts glowing, and it's like, oh, I got this now.
I got this. I can do this now.
The writers have determined that this fight is unwinnable, so I have been given the ability to win it.
Right? I actually, here's one with some really good example of good power creep. So you think or so what? I was reborn as a spider.
I haven't watched any of that one.
Oh, so good.
There's too many
Isekais.
isekai with long names. The last isekai I was actually excited to watch was reincarnated into another world as a hottie. And that's strictly for the relationship between the two main
Because it was
characters.
hilarious.
It
It's
is
hilarious.
hilarious. Biggest problems in Danmachi are more the politics. Yeah, the politics in Danmachi is what got me coming back to it. And like I'm in season 2 now. I'm about elbow deep in season 2, and they've finally agreed to this war with Apollo. That
Yes.
dick.
Yes. That's smug dick. That is true, but I still like both of them. Actually, I love both of them. I can't lie. But yeah, slime is greater than spider.
I was really enjoying Slime until there were like 3 or 4 episodes in a row of just fighting and like, oh, they're so powerful. Blah 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 blah. I like Slime when he's playing Civilization.
Then you needed to watch the side story one.
Why can't it just be the same in the normal show? It's like when they took Madoka Box and turned it into a fighting anime. That's an older complaint. That was like 15 years ago.
I'm like,
It had a really interesting premise. There's this girl who I might be explaining it wrong, but what I remember of it was she was student council president, and it was almost like it initially reminded me of Great Teacher Onizuka, where she's got, yeah, except she's a student council president instead of a teacher, and she has a box where people have put problems into it, and then she goes and resolves them. And for like the first year of this manga, it was not a fighting manga. And then it became a fighting manga. And now it's known as a fighting manga. But
Abyss disagrees with you.
it wasn't always a fighting manga. If it's the one that I'm remembering, I might be misremembering the name. I haven't watched the anime for Madoka Box, so that's definitely not it. I think we're out of time. Are we out of time?
We got 4 minutes. We're good.
We got 4 minutes. Okay.
We got 4 minutes. So here, I'm sure it's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll give us a little bit of talk time. So what is that hot take, sir?
Oh, okay. Common complaint that people have about... You have a title card for it. Nice.
I do.
Common complaint that people have about trading card games is that they're too random. One of the primary skills in playing a trading card game is minimizing randomness. It's why you always see the same group of people doing well in tournaments. It's why you see these same people who are like, Magic the Gathering champions. They go and play poker when they're not playing Magic the Gathering. It is a skill set that is built around minimizing randomness through knowledge of the game and knowledge of the opponent. If you believe that card games are bad because of the nature of randomness, then you either don't have enough experience, that you've started to see the difference that game knowledge and deck building make, or you're just bad at it. Okay. Minimize luck. Life is full of luck. Minimize luck and take control of the things that you can take control of.
Okay.
That's it. That's my hot take. That's a very gentle hot take this time, I think.
I'd say so. It's a gentle hot take. But it's a hot take nonetheless. I agree with you on that. Like, I'm learning how to build decks in Magic, which I, of course, swore I'd never play. Of course, I only played like twice with you in the long ago. And then, of course, I go make new friends. And they're like, we're about Magic. I'm like, I'll just hang out and watch. And I'm like, here.
What happens when you collect introverts, Reggie? It was bound to happen eventually.
I guess. It's true. It's true. I do collect them. You
collect us like we're Pokemon.
I don't make y'all fight, though. I just make you all come together and enjoy the same things. Which... Magic is a core thing through a lot of people that I know.
It used to be a very good game by a very good company.
It's not longer.
I have opinions about Wizards of the Coast now.
Let me get my hot take right quick.
Reggie's got a hot take.
They sent Pinkerton to a streamer's house to get their bots back that he did not steal. Pinkerton.
Historically the worst security company, not because they're necessarily bad at their jobs, but because they are evil. Bullies. They're manipulative. They go out of their way. They sue anyone who actually talks about the real history of the Pinkerton family. Awful stuff. Shame on you, Wizards. Shame on you, Hasbro, for hiring the Pinkertons to go after someone who leaked your game. And shame.
And literally, if you knew what Pinkerton did in the state of Colorado, you'd understand why. Like, I didn't know it was a thing. I went and read up on it. I'm like, they did what to the who and the who? Oh my God.
Yeah, just go back and start reading about Pinkerton's history, beginning with the Wild West. They have always been awful. And they do an excellent job of scrubbing their name. We were supposed to be talking about anime, and now we're talking about a pretty awful security company who might send us a cease and desist if they ever see this.
They won't see it, and if they do, it doesn't matter. We're good. But yeah, that's my hot take. Don't send Pinkerton to recover your cards when all you have to do is ask.
Didn't they also try suing Rockstar over the depiction of the Pinkertons in Red Dead Redemption 2?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I feel like that was a thing. I'm going to have to double check on that, but I feel like that was a thing. Anyways, I think that's all for tonight. I have eggplant parmesan to get to.
You do. I'm gonna have some brought some beer cheese.
Also an excellent choice. Reggie, do you want to sign us off?
Yes, I will. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and others, all are accepted here of all types. Thank you for watching. This has been my best friends weaving with myself, Ra, the Sun God, new PC, who this, and my good friend, no, you're. Oh, I don't know what side you're on anymore.
I'm over here now. You're there.
Yeah, he's here. Fusion. There we go. And that is my best friend, Steven. And this has been my best friends weaving, a product and production of Hirogi Gex Unlimited. We will see you in 2 weeks with our next show. Hopefully, our best friend Pat is feeling better because we do miss you, Pat. We wish you a speedy recovery, and we will see you next time. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're going to go now because it's food time and we like to eat. Oh my God, computer.